All right, good morning. Little Fleabay edition. I haven't done one of these for a few days, so let's see what we can come up with. Normally I say this is going to be a quick little one, but I don't know if it will or not. They never seem to be quick little ones. So anyway, haven't done one for a couple weeks at least here, so let's see what we've got. Now, I have not looked at this stuff at all, so I don't know what we're going to find. So let's go to Atlas Shapers and see what we see. Oh, right off the bat, multi-position metal shaper lathe tool holder, 7-inch 7B South Bend 7/8 by 3/8, $224.96. Well, and I could go and look at this, but I recognize that little logo in the end. So this is going to be from one of our normal sellers that will take advantage of you if opportunity presents itself. $224.96 and $5.85 shipping. Now, these you are worth 75 bucks. You know, you see these guys they were trying to get 100, 150 bucks, and over the last month or two, I've seen them pop up. Now, I've been threatening to build them, and I've got a bunch of parts made up for doing some of these, so we'll have to get after that again. We got several things we've got to get after. But anyway, rip off. Right below it, vintage 7B metal shaper knee work table, S7-6 pre-owned, $129.99 and free shipping. Now that that's more in the realm of what they're worth. I say, and this is from a seller that normally will definitely take advantage of us. These are one of those parts that I tell everybody you don't need, and there's no sense in wasting money on them because they're going to take advantage of you if they can. Now, that's probably about the least expensive I've seen one of these, and there's nothing in the description that tells us anything that's important at all. I say a casting's worth 50, 75 bucks. This one, 75 or 100 maybe. It looks pretty good. We'll look at the big pictures here. For $129.99 and free shipping, this is probably not too far out of line. Now, this is completely stripped, and I've not looked at this, so let's see what it shows us here. Oh, we got some scarf marks on top. And from looking at this, I don't know that those scarf marks are really even scarf marks at all. Those look like something was out of alignment on this machine. Paint's apparently been stripped off of it because it looks like this had green up here before. Be the left hand side as you're looking at it. Right hand side as the machine goes. Yeah, this has been stripped down. Paint that was on it's been stripped off. This will be the right hand side, or yeah, the right hand side as you're looking at it. There's some staining and some marking on it. All in all, it's not a bad looking knee, but there again, why do you need to replace a knee? There's no reason at all to. So prices come down on it because you can't sell it. Good. Shouldn't be able to sell it. It's junk that you've parted out a machine that probably could have been saved. So 7B feed and ratchet gear case housing guard, S724D. I'm not going to go look at this. $45 in free shipping. These are not a part that breaks. If you're missing this part, why, I guess I am going to go look at it. Same seller. There again, this has been, I'm not going to read the description. The finish has been stripped off of it. They're trying to move the parts that they cannot sell when they've parted out the rest of the machine. I don't remember if that's a factory cut down there or if that's been cleaned up. There again, if you need this part, then you've got a whole lot more problems than just that part. So no, don't get it. Okay, Atlas 7B S7 102 side guard cover cast iron, 150 bucks and $14.99. See who's selling this one. Same seller. Same seller, same seller. $15 shipping. Condition is used. Yeah, see, it doesn't give any more in the description than that. Their idea that they're going to give this great description that they're in excellent condition is probably pretty much gone. Let's look at the big pictures of this. And I'm not going to be able to see anything from the big pictures, so we're probably going to go back and investigate this a little bit closer. Now, I've had a couple of guys tell me that they've had cast iron guards. I have never seen one in cast iron. So that would indicate to me that they are a very early guard. And this would have come off the same machine. There's that same green paint that was on that knee. You know, all of the later guards that I've seen for this and this smaller guard have been cast out of aluminum. So it's possible the very early ones were cast iron. A couple of extra holes right there. Now see, the places that the paint is chipped off of this do not appear to be rusty. And normally, when these guards have been kicking around, if they are indeed cast iron, I expect to see some rust showing. A little bit of corrosion. And yeah, maybe it is. Maybe it is. But see, as I said, I have not seen any in actual cast iron. So when I do see one, it's somewhat interesting. Yeah, maybe. So if you are looking for one of these castings, and I say this, I do cast these, although I don't have any in stock. I've had a couple of inquiries about them, so they will be recast and loaded on the website. I have some cast, but I don't have them finished. They will be loaded on the website when I have them in stock again. But in reality, that $150 for that cast iron, or for that smaller shaper guard, is probably not a bad deal. $150, $165 in your door. That's probably not too far out of line, you know, for an original in cast iron. So there you go. Yeah, down below, and we're looking at the same seller here. Now see, he's got the front part of that gear case. See, he tried to sell the others for the back for what, $49. This one he wants $120 for the front portion. This is not a portion that goes bad. Not a portion that goes bad. So, you know, if you need this part of the gear case, or if you need this gear case assembly, and you're buying it from him, you've given $49 or $45, whatever it was, for the back portion. You're giving another $120 for this, and it probably doesn't have any internals in it. I'm not going to go and look. But so you're already into it $160, $170, and you don't have any internals, and you don't have the cover that is the part that actually breaks. This is, see, there's the cover. He wants $135 for it. There again, same seller. All this is from the same seller. I can tell by the background pictures. Now let's look at this. $135. Yep, same seller. What does it say? Nothing. Doesn't say anything other than just what we already know. So let's just look at the smaller pictures. Now this appears to be the assembly, although it doesn't have the gear inside. This portion right here is where they'll crack, and they get run to the end of their travels, and they will crack there. This one doesn't appear to be cracked, at least on this side. And when they do crack, they're junk. You throw them away. So that's not bad looking. This side doesn't appear to be cracked. It's obviously seen some use, but internals are there for the direction mechanism. So there's a feed case cover, or a feed cover. That is probably not a bad buy there for $135 and free shipping. That's probably reasonable for what you're going to pay. You know, that's looks to be a good functional cover. So I would say that one's probably a win there if you're looking for a feed cover. But there again, that's the only part that should have to be replaced on those mechanisms. That's the only thing you should need. Beyond that cover assembly, why, that's the only thing that goes bad on them. you should be able to replace that and be good to go. That's always been the weak point of parts being able to be found, and that's why they normally you'll see these in the $200 range, that type of thing. So that one's probably not a bad buy there. And all these are miter gears and stuff from right down below. I'm not going to go back and look at that. Vintage Atlas Craftsman shaper attachment for heavy drill press. Such Atlas Delta, $380 for best offer and $15.06 shipping. What do we have here? Don't recognize the seller. A little bit of feedback. What does this say? Vintage Atlas Craftsman shaper attachment for heavy drill press such as Atlas Delta, etc. Very rare. Supposedly brand is Atlas Craftsman. We're going to have to go look at the pictures because I don't recognize this first picture. What do we got here? I don't recognize that at all. What do we got? Oh, this is for a wood shaper. That's why I don't recognize it. It is for a wood shaper. I suppose you could mount it on your drill press table and put shaper bits in the drill press quill, and that would function for that. There again, I don't deal in the, yeah, that's what they've done. I don't deal in the, or we don't talk about the wood stuff here, so I'll just pass along. For the most part, I don't. So it would be countershaft assembly. This is probably the same. Is this the same seller? Yeah, this is our same seller. I'm not going to go in and look at these. Here he's got the countershaft assembly, $175. So he's parting out a machine. So if you're interested in how bad you're being ripped off big time, or what these sellers are trying to do, go back through, look at all these parts, and add up what he's charging for the sum of the parts. And usually, you know, I say these machines in functional condition, rebuildable condition, are going to be $750 to $1,000, maybe $1,250. Beyond that, I don't think these shapers especially are worth any more than that. I don't think any of the Atlas machines realistically are worth more than that. But if you go and add this up, you know, they'll try and sell a complete machine for, they've been trying to sell them for $2,000 and $3,000 and $3,500. They're not nearly worth that, but if you go in and add up the sum of the parts that they parted out, usually it will meet or exceed that. So there's a countershaft assembly, $175 and $25 shipping. Now see, the other reality of this is they are charging so much for the parts themselves. They've overinflated the price of the parts themselves so bad. $25 shipping does not cover that. You know, that doesn't cover it. In a that will not even fit in any of the flat rate boxes. Actual shipping cost on those, I'm just guessing, if you use the post office, that's about $40 to ship it. So here's here he's got the side cover, S7-89A, $125 and free shipping. I'm always curious when we look at these. Got the badge, got the knob. Neither of them are in great shape. And then it's got the clip on the inside, which you don't always see. But anyway, you know, $125 and free shipping. Probably not a bad buy, although it is just a casting, you know, $75 or $100. So I do see on some of his parts, these prices are quite a bit lower than what he would have listed them in the past, and most of these sellers are listing them for. And I think that's a good thing. You know, I think if they want to sell these parts, they need to have them for a realistic price. And the idea that, you know, they're going to go back and list these doors for $200, $250 like they've done in the past, it just doesn't fly. You know, right below that, he's got a 7B motor mount base and bracket, S7-108A and S7-74, $142.99 in free shipping. No, those are $80 between the two of them. That's an $80 part for those two components. Atlas Craftsman 10-12-inch lathe cross-slide ball crank handle shaper, pre-owned 1999. This is from a different seller, one actually we've already looked at today. I won't go in and look at it today. That is not a actual handle, or if it is, it's been modified and boogered and all that stuff. Okay, we go down a couple more. Here's a 7B Shaper S789A side cover. Another side cover. They want $130 and free shipping. I don't necessarily recognize this seller. There again, another Shaper door in, you know, about the, I'd actually say a little bit better condition than the previous one. He wants 130 for it. The last one was, what, 125? I think we may have looked at this one before, or I may have looked at it anyway. Right below it, Shaper 10F motor mount S7108A, $49 and $14 shipping. See, $40 part, $40 motor mount. You know, now this is for the lathe. S7108A, is that the same number they gave? Yeah, S7108A, that they want $142 for that in the bracket that mounts it to the main casting. So up there's a rip off there. And then we're back down into the ones we've looked at before. There's this same, well, there's a couple of them here. There's this pair of Atlas 7B Shapers. They're still here for $3,500, and I said they were worth about maybe two for the pair of them, $1,800 or two for the pair of them. So they want twice as much as they're worth. A couple below that, we've looked at this before. Here's another Atlas Shaper tool posts. They want $250 for it. Now, those are worth $75 to $100. So that takes care of Shapers. You know, there's quite a bit more Shaper stuff, mainly from the one seller, but they're not doing us any favors there. Atlas Mills, 1-inch arbor, brand new, $285 and $17.10 shipping. Now I believe this is a seller. I believe we've looked at these arbors before. Yeah, I'm sure it is. Two available. They're made to the prints. You know, I made some comments, I think, about these in the past. There again, how are they? Let's look at the big pictures. Looks pretty good. Got nice looking spacers. Looks to be built to the print and everything. Now, when we, I believe this is the same one. We'll read the description here in a minute, but I believe this is the same one that said it was used with the actual cutter and a horizontal mill to cut, where a lot of these you'll see just ended. That's part of being made to the print. And see, I think he's selling nuts separately too. This is, you know, this is just the print for the arbor nut itself. So I think he's doing these separately. Now, my concern before, and one of my concerns still, is when we look at this, we've got the print right behind us. Let's see if it shows us. Here is the things that concern me. These guys say they're building these. I said before, I think you have to have a cylindrical grinder that works the way it's supposed to be able to set these up properly. Here is our turn dimension. 1.007 to 1.009 is our turn dimension. Then right here we have a grind dimension. So these are all turned, all the machining's done, then they're gone back and ground to 0.9991 to 0.9995. Same way on these. We have a turn dimension of 708 to 710. We've got a grind dimension of 0.700. So I think most of these are just being turned, and there again, this looks good. My concern is how close is it to spec, which I'm not questioning the machining on. It looks very good. But was it actually turned to the proper dimension, or was it ground to the proper dimension, or was it just turned? I do not believe that you can have what I consider to be a saleable product to sell you guys unless it's actually done properly. Within reason. You know, there's some stuff that you can sneak by on and everything, but this is a rotating product. Yeah, see, Arbor's M1-561 or 561L was made to the original Atlas drawing specs. Please note that the key seat in the Arbor is cut with a 3-inch diameter cutter per the original design. This item looks just like an original Arbor. Yeah, it does. But, and I test fit this Arbor on my Atlas MFB milling machine. Please ask before bidding. So it's being fitted to a 80 or 100-year-old machine, a 60 or 80-year-old machine. To me, that doesn't mean a whole lot. Now, I test fit to machines too, usually, but there's also standards you need to be fitting to. So, and it's branded Atlas. Well, it's not actually an Atlas thing. It's an aftermarket product being turned just like the parts that I build. So that's my only concern. Was it actually ground? If it wasn't, you know, that's why I don't build arbors at this point in time. Can't properly make them. Can't properly build them. Oh, 6-inch milling attachment, M6-501 pre-owned, $245, one bid, free shipping. So we'll see what that does, but Atlas lathe headstock milling arbor, Morris taper number 3, $59 or best offer and $11 shipping. What do we got here? This is not really a seller I recognize. What's the description say? This has got to be a shop built something or other. Yeah, it doesn't say. Atlas lathe headstock milling arbor, Morse taper 3. The thread is about a 1/4 inch. Check my other. It's about a 1/4 inch. Yeah, it's pretty close. So what do we got here? Oh, apparently this is our arbor portion here that's going to fit in the headstock, and then we've got it set up for an arbor, would be my guess. Or else it goes in the other way. That's a backstop, or that's a stop for it, and well, if you know exactly how it fits, exactly how you're going to use it, it's worth 20 bucks. Atlas Craftsman M6-500 milling attachment, 6-inch metal lathe instruction manual, $14.73. Brand new, $15. Buy it now, free shipping. Yeah, somebody's reproduction manual. There again, I don't know if I've got that one or not. Go to vintagemachinery.org, and I would bet that you can probably download the PDF of it right there, print it out, and you've got it for 20 minutes of your time. Okay, Atlas MF horizontal milling machine, pre-owned, $1,000 or best offer. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Brand new seller, don't recognize him at all, no feedback there. Atlas MF mill, it runs but could use some adjustments. Well, every one of them could use some adjustments. Has a custom vertical milling attachment that needs slight modifications to get running again. The old version was a V-belt, the updated version was being switched to herringbone belt drive. I believe it is missing one pulley, it is missing the arbor and top support for the arbor. Has a Detroit Arsenal badge on it and was told by previous owner that it was used to cut key sets for some military equipment, but I cannot verify that. It was painted these colors by the previous owner as well, as is. So, big pictures, what do we got? Yeah, we'll probably have to go back and look at it. Look at it closer. Handles are not correct. The what do we got here? What do we got? We'll have to go back and look at all this goody stuff on there. There's at least the one guard, no arbor. This originally would have been an MF machine that had a top cover on it, because there's the hole for the top cover. That's not an original knob, but that doesn't, you know. Yeah, this is okay. There's our arbor bar, but that is somebody's goofy vertical milling head. There again, the same handle sticking out here like they built and put on here and here. No knob on the top of the guard. That looks to be, is that a second or a third generation guard? Okay, this is the third generation guard here, I believe. Would be a M, either I think it's a 402, M1-402B, I believe will be the number there. That's been opened up. That looks like a bigger hole than would be normally in there. There should be. We'll go back and look at the picture a little bit closer because this is a little bit interesting. We've not seen one of these. There's probably a cover on the back here for the onboard oil sump, and this I would imagine is where the cord or the hose comes back out of that sump at one time. Yeah, those are somebody's knobs for it. Those I don't believe are original. Let's see what else we see here. 24021. Pretty early machine. Yeah, it has been painted, been beat up. We got a big dink there. So yeah, this is kind of an obnoxious vertical head. I don't know what that was originally designed to fit, but the problem with this stuff is while they either are functional or can be made to function, they don't match the aesthetics of the machine. So, you know, I pass on all of this kind of stuff, but let's look at these pictures a little bit closer and see what we see. Handles are different. It does have the power feed assembly on it. Looks to be an original motor, probably. Knob has changed. This has got the later style back gear lever. Yeah, now see this, the holes where the arbor support goes, that's huge. That's all been opened up. So that's way beyond factory. That's not going to hold a standard arbor. So you're going to have to either completely do something custom for that. I would guess that's probably about a 2-inch arbor shaft. So the head in reality for anything even close to original to fit your Atlas accessories, which the only thing that's supported there would be the overarm support itself. And you use that if you're running a long arbor with cutters in the horizontal setup, or if you're setting it up for a vertical setup. So that could be overcome, but you've also lost some the ability to hold a little bit larger cutter because you've got a bigger support arm coming through there. It's going to take up part of that space, and you don't have a whole lot of room for arbor cutters in there anyway. These take those smaller cutters, so but yeah, the hole through there is huge. Yes, ATA 226. I have no idea what this extra badging is there. They mentioned in the description that it's probably somebody's, it probably went to somebody's war effort production, something or other. You don't get any good pictures of that vertical head. That vertical head was fitted to something else. It was originally designed for something else and has been fitted to this machine. You know, special purpose. I don't see a whole lot of functionality for what we want. There again, that knob handle's been changed again down there on the left end of the table. And so there's a drawbar there. Today's market, is it worth $1,000? It probably is. You know, I'm more in that $750 range on that machine. Anyway, it is a machine. So what else do we got? Some new parts. MF horizontal milling machine cross-slide casting M1-5. This is that same casting that I've hunted for quite a while, and I've got mine now for on that machine. Seller that does a bunch of this junk. What do we got here? Actually, I suppose we could just look at the big pictures. What does it say? Free shipping. Good used part. Comes with everything you see in the photos. Well, what do we see in the photos? Let's not waste a whole lot of time here. Got the 2 gib locks on it. Got 2 of the 3 adjustment screws that go there. Got a gib. All 4 of them there. Grungy, yucky. Missing 1 gib screw, which is not a big deal. Yeah, it's an okay casting. You know, I think I ultimately gave, what did I say, 45 bucks for mine in the door or something. It's a little overpriced. With everything there. I'll see that handle's been flattened off. Probably interfered and got scraped against the knee, top slide. Well, it wouldn't be a top slide, knee, table, something. So, you know, probably 50 bucks. Right below it, list screw assembly, and I would bet it's the same seller, 55 bucks. Yeah, probably don't need one. Any list screw assembly you've got that's wore out or got binding in it, this one's going to be the same way. It's going to be worn and used and abused. Oh, Craftsman XY rotary milling table and vise cross slide 7x7 with vise jaws, $395 or best offer. Free shipping, another one of those. Yep, they should hand deliver it to you. What does it say here? Mastercraft tools. So this is, let's look at this and see what we've got here. With a Mastercraft tools, that would be a Montgomery & Ward's badging. It's way too much, no matter whose it is. Excellent condition, Mastercraft XY table, T-slot and table vise jaw, one of the nicest I've come across in 30 years. Well, it's not an Atlas. It's Mastercraft, which would have been Montgomery & Ward's. So let's look at the big pictures. See what's actually different. It does look those look like Atlas jaws on top. Well, it does have Atlas appearance to it, at least in... I don't think so. Nope, 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 nope. This is Montgomery & Ward's. This is not Atlas at all. Not Atlas at all. Unless they've... Unless this is a conglomerate of parts. No, this is different. This is a different knob here. I believe the mounting system is different on it. That does have the appearance of being Atlas jaws, and that almost looks like an, well, it's not an Atlas table because it's badged Mastercraft. So it's not. It would have been about the same, but it's not Atlas. Nope, 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 nope. Okay. Now, I did look a couple weeks ago. I was going to do a little Fleabay edition, and we're back down into that stuff that I've already looked at. And this is one that I looked at last time I was there. And I'll go back and look. And I had to investigate this to identify exactly what was going on. Craftsman Atlas 10-501 milling attachment cross slide. And there's 3 question marks there. Parts only $179. So the description reads, and this is from a seller I don't really recognize. Got a fair amount of feedback, but description: what you see is what you get. It appears to be a cross slide for a lathe. I believe it came from a Craftsman Atlas lathe. It has number 10-501 in the casting. It does slide when you turn the hand wheel. I know nothing more about it. Well, back to it is dirty, but I believe would clean up well. Ships for free to the lower 48. We're back to that thing of, if you don't know what it is, it's worth 20 bucks, 50 bucks. It's not worth 179, and it's not worth 179 anyway. So let's look at the big pictures. I had to look at this a couple times before I really figured out what it was. What this actually is this is a 12-inch vertical milling attachment for the lathe that the base has been cut off of here. They've just literally cut the base off. Now, what they've tried to modify this to be or to fit, I have no idea. But that's what this is. It's worth 50 bucks. And the only reason it's worth that is because there's a few parts on there that make it worth 50 bucks. Other than that, no. So yeah, it's been cut off right here. And it's sat on a shelf under the 10 Commandments in the, you know, in a trunk or something, that it's been kicking around for about 100 years, it looks like. And dirty and grungy and just crap where it's just sat around. But yeah, it's a vertical cross slide. Now, you know, you could take this portion of it and mount it on a lathe compound, but I don't know what you would be gaining unless you use the rest of it to build some sort of a custom fixture, custom something or other. It's not worth even close to 179 bucks. It's worth 50 bucks. That's all you got. 50 bucks. Yeah, see, cut off right there. There we go. And the rest of the stuff we've seen before is not interesting to us, or we just don't care. So, last thing, Atlas lathe. Oh, 10-12 inch metal lathe change gear bolt bushing assembly. Well, he showed you how to build the bolts here a couple, 3 weeks ago, whatever it was. I want 30 bucks for it. One of our sellers that'll take you to the cleaners. So, they're worth 30 bucks. You got the bushing in between, which used bushing should be worth 10 bucks. You know, whole thing 15 bucks. I'm not going to look at it much closer than that. Yeah, he gives nothing in the description. Another one right below it. Now here's a countershaft arm for the lathe, 10-12 inch lathe countershaft part. This is the lever, $9.95 and $6.35 shipping. If you need one of these, that's a fair price. Same seller, but it's stuff they couldn't sell. You know, this is junk you can't sell. All this is for your countershaft assembly. The rod would come out here, and I would speculate that when we go on down here, he's going to try and get another 10 bucks or 15 bucks for the arm and the knob. Yeah. So, some commercial parts down here I'm not going to look at, not even going to slow down for them. Atlas Craftsman 10-12 inch metal lathe 3AT collet drawbar with cast hand wheel. So this is not a factory, this shows pre-owned, but this is somebody's either cast a hand wheel for it, bought somebody else's casting or something. 224 bucks or best offer. Nope, this is a piece of, oh, we could go look at it a little bit just for our own little interest. Recognize the seller, don't really know who it is. Atlas Craftsman 10-12 inch metal lathe 3AT collet drawbar with cast hand wheel W7 or 9-752W. Drawbar with hand wheel, a drawbar spacer, MT3 to M to 3AT, spindle nose adapter, Harding 23/64 collet, and spindle thread protector. Okay. Let's look and see what they've done here. Let's just look at the big pictures of what they've done. So the drawbar is a piece of tubing. It's threaded on the inside to accept a collet. This will be the adapter that seats up against the hand wheel with a spacer. Now this is going to be pretty much the same as goes on the Atlas milling machine for the drawbar, if I'm not mistaken. You got that, and you got a hand wheel on the end. So this can be adjusted to length. You can affix these together however it floats your boat to hold them, and then you need an adapter. Now the adapter just slides into the headstock. This tube threads into the back of your collets. They made these both in 3 and 3AT with 3As and then 3ATs. 3As are, no, 3C collets and then 3AT. My preference when I set up my lathe would have been 3ATs, but you find that 3C collets are much more readily available, and they're getting a little bit harder to find too, but they're much more readily available than the 3AT, so I put 3Cs on my little Atlas lathe. I believe it's 3Cs. one of the two, and it's not the 3 ATs. So spindle nose protector, you know, what it is what it is. They hold the adapter in place. I built those and sold them forever and ever type of thing. So yeah, see, this just slides and centers the drawbar in the spindle bore. Yeah, see, this will set in from the other side. The AT just seats up into the spindle on that Morse taper. And that's just somebody's hand wheel. Looks almost like they've threaded it on there probably. Like I say, they can be pinned on. You can thread them. You can attach them however you want. Yeah, see, this is just somebody's hand wheel, 9-752. That may be an Atlas number, but I don't know that. You got a wore out call it, which probably is. So it's worth 224 bucks. No, it's worth 100 bucks. 100 bucks. 100 bucks. 100 bucks. And there's some other stuff here. Now here's a brand new set of half nuts for the 1012. They want 75 bucks and free shipping. As I said before, call Clausing before you step right up and lay down your hard-earned money here on Fleabay, because if these are new, actually Atlas parts, then they're being supplied by Clausing, and the seller's making a profit on what he's invested in those parts. So go to Clausing, see what they're going to quote for a set of half nuts. Spindle assembly, $249.99. My interest is waning here, so I'm not going to go in and look at these. You know, if you're interested in this stuff, you can go back and look at them. Here is a double tool cross slide metal lathe, Logan Atlas South Bend Clausing, and there's a question mark. 99 bucks at one bid and $18 shipping. That is a Logan cross slide, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that's a Logan cross slide. This is from a seller that's been around. You know, if you're looking for a production cross slide, it may be worth that 99 bucks, but all you're buying is the casting. It looks like there may be some Gibbs and stuff there. What's the description say? Oh, I have no idea what this item goes to. That means it's worth 50 bucks. It looks like Logan, but not exactly, and a question mark. One Gibbs screw is missing. Easy to make. There's a little more in the description there, but there's no sense in reading it. I believe that to be a Logan. It's not an Atlas. It has a Logan look, but I believe that's a Logan. I could be mistaken though. Looks awful long for a Logan, for a Logan 10-inch anyway. Somebody knows more than I do, chime in, leave in the description below or the comment section below what that actually fits. Yeah, 13 7/8 inches long sounds about right. Huh. I believe it's a Logan, but if you don't know what it fits, it's worth 50 bucks, 40 bucks. Atlas Craftsman 10-12-inch metal lathe compound tool post cross slide 10-302, 180 bucks or best offer and $22.80 shipping. That's worth 75 bucks. And it's got the plates and stuff on it. 100 bucks. 100 bucks and $15 shipping. Yeah, see, these guys are smoking dope. These guys are smoking dope. 10-inch metal lathe carriage saddle apron slide assembly 10F-9A, $299. and free shipping. Now, why do you want this wore out crap? It's stuff they couldn't sell. Same way, probably the same seller from the looks of the background picture. 10-inch metal top ventilated compound tool post holder, 10-302, $189.99. Yeah, it's got a, looks like it's got a tool post and at least one piece of tooling in it. It's worth $100. Yeah, my interest has pretty much waned here. I'm not going to look at any more of this stuff, so you guys can go and look if you're interested, but there's a bunch of crap here. 10-12-inch lathe complete vertical drive countershaft and 9-20. Worth, they want $300 with no bids and $30 shipping. It's worth $150, $175. It's not worth $300. As long as we realize that, that's all that really matters, because if we don't give them what they want for this crap, they're not going to sell it. Their prices are going to come down, like we have seen some at the beginning of this video, and if they can't bring them down, they can sit on that shit. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. I got to go out to the shop. I got work to do. Hopefully you find something here a little bit useful. Comments, suggestions, leave them in the comment section for me below, guys. And as always, have a good week, and thanks for taking the time to watch.